the culture of Latam is very low as regards insurance, and Chubb is a company that includes insurance in the customer experience. So we have here on stage Sean Ringsted, who is the Chief Digital Business Officer of Chubb, and we are going to talk about insurance. Thank you very much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, so you did a survey on digital wallet rates and the integration of digital insurance into bank and fintech. Do you want to talk more about this?
Yeah, we wanted to do a survey across the fintech industry to understand how partners are thinking, fintech partners are thinking about the importance of insurance and what it means to their customer. A couple of headline, I think, takeaways that are interesting and perhaps surprising. First is the importance of it to banking executives, and the second is the reason why. Let's talk about the importance of it. Today, 20% of banking executives expect 10% of their revenue or more to come from insurance. So just 20%. In 3 years' time, they think it'll be 80%. So a really significant shift and a meaningful amount of revenue, 10% of revenue. Or you can think about it, another way to ask the importance is it a nice to have or a must to have? And 80% of banking executives say it's a must have, not a nice to have. And then the second is you think about the reason why. And if you're a partner, and I come along as an insurer, and you have a group of customers, you're probably going to charge me to access those customers. So it's a revenue stream to you. So that's an obvious reason. And then you might think the insurance helps attract new customers or retain new customers. So it's about sort of maintaining your customer base. So that was the second most important reason why. But the number one reason that came through, 80% said it was about trust. And somehow insurance increases the trust that customers have with you as partner in their ecosystem. So I think that's a very, very powerful message there for partners as they think about the value of insurance. It's not just revenue, it's not just about customer retention. It actually increases the customer trust that they have in your ecosystem.
So you talk me about the past, and then you identify this growth in the actual photo of the insurance stuff. Talking about the future, what do you think are the top priorities of banking executive in this kind of insurance partnerships?
Well, they're very focused. We found in three areas when they want to sit down with an insurer. The first is perhaps not surprising, but it's so crucial, right? It's about data and it's about understanding the customer. You have to start with the customer persona and their needs, and then you're thinking about their customer journey. Because what we're trying to do with the insurance is to present that to the customer at a point that's contextual, it's relevant. If you're a small business and you're taking out a loan with your bank, that could be a financial burden to you, and you might worry about making the loan payments. Now, if I can offer you some peace of mind, if you were to fall ill or something worse happen to you, and I can cover those loan payments, that's a really valuable proposition to you, taking out the loan, to you as a partner, because you're encouraging people to transact in the ecosystem. So understanding data is incredibly important, and the customer journeys, because if you're on an app, you don't want insurance disrupting that journey. The second that partners look for from insurers is how we work. So it has to be agile, it has to be fast cycle times. And then the third is technology. So we have to be able to integrate into partners. That's a prerequisite. And so we've spent a lot of time and effort on building out a technology platform, Chubb Studio, so we can integrate into partners however they want, right? If it's through API, increasing the SDKs, big topic of interest because of that's much more efficient around engineering resource, or we can do it as a widget. So it's data and the customer. It's about working fast and agile with a partner, but it's also about the technology integration.
As I told you in the beginning, you know that in Latin America we have a low culture about insurance adoption, How do consumers perceive the need of insurance and then desire to purchase it digitally?
Yeah, I think a starting point, I think Latin America is under-penetrated for insurance. I think it's underserved. And we found when we surveyed we surveyed banking execs, but we also surveyed consumers. more than 50% of consumers felt they needed to buy more insurance. So there was awareness of the need to buy more insurance. I think that's in part post-COVID. So people, I think, are much more risk-aware, risk-averse about the need to protect themselves, their families, and stuff. So there's a desire to purchase more insurance. When you think about the type of insurance people buy, you probably, top of mind would come your car, right, or life insurance or home. It's about 60%, roughly 50 to 60% of people buy that type of protection. I think that they need more. I think people are typically underinsured on the life side. But what's interesting too, I think they're very underinsured to today's risks, right? The risks of today. If you think about, say, cyber, if you think about phishing, identity theft, protecting your own digital estate. When you think about protecting your phone, if you were to lose that would be a bad day for you. Or when you think about the gig economy, if you fall sick, right, just being able to catch up on payments or bring an income in. So if you think about cyber and gadget, paycheck, this sort of newer types of risks, less than 10% of people actually buy insurance to protect themselves against those risks. So you have traditional risk where I think people are underinsured, and I think there are new types of risk where people aren't just buying insurance. So I think there's some awareness that needs to be raised around insurance needs. And fortunately, with the collaboration between Fintech and between insurance, we can now bring insurance to those customers in a way that's affordable, understandable, and very relevant to the risks that they face.
And we have all the reality of AI, and all the things around identity validation. So now there are a lot of new risks that we have.
There are new risks, and so much of the world is cyber, right? It's how we transact, it's how we lead our lives, it's digital. So protecting that digital identity, digital real estate, I think is very, very important in this. And there are insurance solutions to do that.
What are some of the challenges and pain points that companies have faced by financial organizations, when working to insurance partnerships?
Well, I think there are many. You think about prioritization of resource. So you may be more interested in setting up a retail outlet or developing an app. So insurance is competing for other priorities. It's important to have leadership buy-in. So the CEO has to say this is important. Insurance is not necessarily the most friendly product or understandable product, so we have to think about that. But in general, we now have 200 partnerships globally, and some of our most successful partnerships are here in Latin America. So we work very, very hard with the partner in bridging and solving those challenges. As I say, we have the technology, we operate a design principle approach. And then it's just roll your sleeves up with the partner to sort of co-create and build products that are going to be relevant for the customer journey. So provided you got that alignment with both sides, that insurance is a priority and it's important, those challenges can be overcome. And there's real value creation there because, as we said at the beginning, it helps customers in terms of trust and improving brand loyalty. It helps the partner with revenue and customer retention, and it helps us. We can distribute insurance products that we think are very relevant and helpful to customers.
As Fintech Americas is one of the most important events here in Latin America for fintech companies. What feedback did you receive from customers, from partners here in the event?
It's been fantastic. We've got a great booth here and a great team here, and they've been dealing with a lot of inquiries and people really interested about the opportunities. So this has been a terrific event.
Again, Sean, thank you very much for being here at this stage, and thank you for talking about insurance.
A pleasure. Nice to see you.
Thank you.